The other day, Kuro Games had their live stream reveal for Wuthering Waves 2.6, and it is safe to say everything in 2.6 looks phenomenal, from the events to the quality of life, the banners and the new upcoming characters and the story, the area that we're getting. It all looks fantastic, and it is my hope that it beats out 2.4 in storytelling, because I think 2.4 is the best story patch we have gotten in Wuthering Waves. I think the whole storyline of heading to Septimont, meeting Lupa, finding out Cardathea is in an alternate version of Septimont, finding out that Mia and Lupa are swapping places and it is Cristoforo's plan to power the Threnodian. I think that whole storyline when Lupa fights Mia, the ending where she comes out of the portal and is so happy to see Rover and Cardathea, I think it is the best story we have gotten. Now, 2.5 comes close, but I am hoping that 2.6 beats it in story-wise. That is my hope with 2.6. Now, I do understand they have set expectations super high with how good the story has been from 2.0, but I do have faith in Kuro Games that they can deliver a fantastic story. But it is my hope that 2.6 is the best patch we have gotten, and I cannot wait to play it on the 28th of August. So now that I yapped about the reveal for a little bit, we're going to talk about all the stuff that is being introduced in 2.6. We're going to talk about the events, obviously the banners, the quality of life changes that they're adding, and the new area, and maybe some theories about what's going to happen in the story. But we're going to start off with the banners. Augusta is the first half of 2.6. She's going to be running with Carlotta and Shorekeeper. Now, I don't have Shorekeeper. I am beyond cooked this patch. I don't have that many pulls, and I would prefer not to have to wail out and spend some money, but I might have to if I want to get the characters that I want, because Augusta looks fantastic. I do need Shorekeeper for my teams because I am rocking a 4-star healer and Verena. Verena is putting in overtime on my teams. And then the second half of 2.6 is Iuno and Chicona. Now, it's not that much of a stacked banner unlike the first half of 2.6, but it is... Iuno looks so good. She is clearly a support, and I think they said on the live stream that she also can provide healing or something, or I saw something like that. I don't remember. I'll have to pull it up, but Iuno looks to be a fantastic character, and I'm torn between pulling for her or Augusta or trying to pull both. I'm going to have to pray to whatever god I want to choose that I get Augusta early if I decide to pull on them, because these banners are stacked. Augusta, Iuno, Shorekeeper, Chicona, and Carlotta. I don't think the banners have ever been this stacked from what I can remember. Rip to all the free-to-play players and low spenders, dude. Rip to all of us, bro. Now, for the story of 2.6, they are splitting it in half like they did in 2.4. I personally prefer the way they do it in 2.4 by splitting it in half. It makes it so there's more story. It makes it so the story content stretches out for the whole patch and you just don't complete it in one day and then have nothing else to do besides the events for the rest of the patch. It just feels like there's more to do. And it seems like the story content is longer when they split it in half. I do like it that way, and I do understand if some people don't like the story content split in half for the patch, but it is my preferred way they do the story is by splitting it in half. Now, we are getting a new tactical hologram. It is going to be Lady of the Sea. I do enjoy the tactical holograms, but I wish they would center an event around that or make an event that uses them. But regardless, I'm glad we're getting a new tactical hologram boss. That's great. We're getting a brand new boss from the story, the False Sovereign, which he's probably going to be available right from the start. That's my guess, because he's probably going to be required for he is going to be required for Augusta and Iuno, obviously. We are getting 2 new Echo sets, a Crown of Valor, it's a 3-piece, and another 3-piece Law of Harmony, which is going to be for Iuno. So we're getting 2 new Echo sets, which is nice. I don't really know how I feel about the 3-piece Echo sets. They're okay. I do kind of prefer a 5-piece. It just makes getting it easier, in my opinion. But anyways, it's nice to see new Echo sets. We're getting a bunch of new events. We're getting the title defense simulator, Hunt of Ash and Steel, Marks of the Wild, Moonlit Revelation, Second Coming of Solaris, which looks pretty funny because they're introducing a bunch of bugs from when the game released. Prince of the Plateaus, the Plateau, which is the pitcher event. Returner event is what it seems like back to Solaris. We're getting 2 or 20 free polls, which is nice. But those are only available during iuno's banner, which is not the greatest because people would probably rather use them on Augusta. But anyways, and we're getting, I think it's 5 standard polls and 2 limited polls from Gifts of the Hunt. And then we're getting Beyond the Waves, Renacida. So we're getting a lot of events, and we're also getting Flight in 1.0 areas and Black Shores, which is fantastic. We have been begging for that for a while now, and we're finally getting it. And they're tying an event around it, which is fantastic. I have been wanting Flight for 1.0 because I had completely held off on exploring the 1.0 areas because it kind of sucks, if I'm being completely honest. Because the 1.0 areas are just not that much fun to explore. And I hope, and they are adding markers for like the boat flies and that type of stuff so you can find it on the map easier, which is great to see. And they're extending the range of the loot mapper, which is fantastic. I think they're doubling the size of the loot mapper, which is great to see. But there's not any combat events, it seems like. I don't think I would count a title defense simulator as a combat event, but I am very excited to see the title defense simulator event. But it seems like there's some pretty good events coming in 2.6, and well, let's get on to the quality of life changes that they're adding in 2.6. So to start off the quality of life changes, we're obviously getting Flight in all regions, which is fantastic to see. I'm glad we're finally getting that, but they did also say that we're not going to be getting Flight in future regions, so I'm overall happy about that. Having Flight is kind of just a little boring at this point because the map is just empty at most parts because of Flight. I feel like if Flight wasn't a thing, the maps might have been a little more condensed and would have been a lot better to explore. But regardless, it is extremely good to see that Flight is going to the 1.0 areas and Black Shores. That's great to see. Fantasies of 1,000 Gateways is getting an overhaul. It's getting an additional stage, new metaphors, and improved AI, and a button to claim all rewards. That is fantastic to see because it is a bit annoying having to individually click each time to gather the rewards when doing it. We are getting a record sync in endgame content, so what that means is you can automatically clear certain floors or stages based on your previous cycle for Wuthering Waves and Towered Reversely. So you can just jump to higher floors in the next cycle, so you don't have to redo lower floors. And we are also getting additional floors in Tower Adversity, so that's good to see that they're changing it because, I'll be honest, Tower Adversity is kind of boring, having to do it every patch. But regardless, good to see they're adding stuff to it. We're getting collectible tracking in Hulong, the 1.0 areas, so it'll be a useful tool for being able to 100% the areas, so that's very good to see. The loot mapper is getting a range increase to about double the size, so it should cover the majority of the area, so it'll be much easier to get all the chests that you might have to look up to find. We're also getting a weapon gallery, so you can see all the weapons you have and the weapons that are upcoming and the ones you don't have. It's just going to be like the character gallery, so you can see which ones you don't have and the ones you have. It's such a minor thing. I'm sure some people will be glad that they're adding it. So the next quality of life feature is the one-click claim all. So for like achievements and available rewards throughout multiple things, you can just click to claim all the rewards from like your achievements and that stuff. That is a major thing I am super happy about. It might seem like a minor thing, but having to click each time on an achievement when you've got like 20 of them to claim is extremely annoying. I'm just glad they're adding a one-click claim all. That is fantastic to see, and obviously they're doing a performance update. They're adding DLSS 4 and probably some other minor performance things, but I do hope they increase the performance in the console versions because I do hear it's quite bad. But regardless, seeing DLSS 4 is a good thing, really. They're claiming that it's going to like triple the FPS, but I've never liked DLSS. I would rather just lower my graphics settings and have a higher FPS than deal with DLSS, because I find that DLSS makes the game look worse overall. But really, it depends on the person if you want to use it. But regardless, as I said, I'm not a fan of DLSS. But those are really all of the quality of life changes that they're adding in 2.6. I'd say this patch is quite stacked for quality of life changes. We are getting quite a few, and flight really is the biggest one. I'm going to be able to 100% the 1-point areas quickly now, and I'm glad that they're adding that. Really, that's all for the quality of life changes. Now, based on everything in this video, I think it is safe to say that 2.6 has the potential to be the best patch Wuthering Waves has gotten. I think it has the potential to beat out 2.4. The quality of life changes that we went over, the banners that we went over, the story that's split into 2 sections, the events. The only thing I'm not the biggest fan of is the lack of combat events. But if the events that are coming in this make up for it, it won't be an issue, if I'm being completely honest. If they are good, if that tower defense is good and has a lot of replayability, I'm sure it won't matter that much that there's not really any combat events. But anyways, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. If you liked the video, like it and subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. Maybe tell me what I can do better in the comments. I'm going to keep trying to make more videos like this, but if you liked it, like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.